In this video, I'm going to describe how to detect the current version number of the application that's already installed on your system. Before you execute an automatic update, you always want to compare the current version number of the application to the version number you're expecting to install. It's important to note that the application must already know the version number of the target application installer, and then it can detect its own version number, that is, the current version number, dynamically. For this demonstration, I'll use the application compareversions.mxml that you'll find in the Chapter 12 Begin folder if you're following along with the exercises. This is the same application that I created in the previous video, but it now has a new function named Compare Versions and a button with a label of Compare Versions that calls that function. Here are the steps for comparing the version of the currently running application. Click into the Compare Versions function and then put in this code. Declare a variable named descriptor, data typed as an XML object. Remember that the application descriptor is an XML file, and you can read this into memory using the following syntax. Native application starting with an uppercase n dot native application starting with a lowercase n dot application descriptor. This expression returns the actual XML object that is the application descriptor file. Now, in order to read the application descriptor, you need a namespace. You get this namespace using this syntax: var ns:\namespace equals descriptor.namespace. The namespace function can handle a namespace prefix. But if you look back at an application descriptor file, what you see is that it does include a namespace in the application tag, but it doesn't use a namespace prefix. So this is what's called in XML the default namespace, and this is what we're referring to when we declare the namespace object using this code. Now declare a variable named current version, data typed as a number, and you'll extract the version from the XML file and then cast it as a number. I can do it in this case because the version numbering that I'm using are pure numeric values, 1.0, 2.0, and so on. So extract the value like this. Start off with a casting expression of number, parenthesis, then an E for X expression of descriptor.ns:\version. The ::" is namespace syntax in E for X. We're saying start with the default namespace and then get the version element and its text node, return that value, and cast it as a numeric value. Finally, set a variable named new version, once again typed as a number, and set it to a literal value of 2. Now in this case, I'm setting the application version number right here in the code, but you could just as easily download an XML file, for instance, from the website to determine what version number you're looking for. Now you'll compare the two versions. First of all, put in a trace command and output this value, current version, and then the current version variable. Then put in a conditional clause. If current version is less than new version, then output a trace statement like this: trace eligible for upgrade. In the else clause, add another trace statement: not eligible for upgrade. Save your changes and run the application in debug mode. Click the Compare Versions button and watch the console in FlexBuilder, and you should see that the current version is reported as version 1 and the message is eligible for upgrade because the current version, version 1, is less than the new version, version 2. In the next video, I'll show you how to complete this process and execute the automatic upgrade.